Did you know cows don't have top front teeth? It sounds weird, but you can check. They have teeth on the bottom, but none on the top. So how do they even eat? Instead of top teeth, cows have something called a dental pad, a tough, flat surface. They press grass against it with their bottom teeth and basically rip it off. Not exactly elegant, but very effective. And honestly, that's one of the normal facts in this video, because you're going to hear about animals that can survive in space, animals that can freeze solid and come back to life, and even animals that can basically live forever. You might have heard that octopuses have 3 hearts, but do you know why? 2 pump blood to the gills, and 1 pumps it to the rest of the body. When they swim, the main heart actually stops beating. That's why they hate swimming. It literally exhausts them. Tardigrade, also called water bears, are nearly indestructible. They can survive temperatures near absolute zero and above boiling, withstand radiation that would kill humans instantly, live in the vacuum of space. They do this by entering a dried-out, tune state where metabolism almost completely stops, basically pausing life itself. Certain frogs, like the wood frog, freeze solid in winter. Their heart stops, breathing stops, blood stops flowing. Then in spring, they thaw out and continue living like nothing happened. Their bodies use glucose as a natural antifreeze. Some desert snail can enter dormancy for up to 3 years. They seal themselves inside their shells and wait for better conditions. It's not just sleep, it's a survival shutdown mode. But breathing turtles. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Species like the Australian Fitzroy river turtle can absorb oxygen through their cloaca, rear opening. This allows them to stay underwater for long periods during hibernation without surfacing. Crow can recognize individual human faces and remember them for years. If you threaten one, it may warn other crows, dive bomb you later, pass that knowledge to its group. They essentially maintain a social blacklist. Bottlenose dolphin use unique whistles as identifiers. Each dolphin develops a signature call. Others use it to call them. That's functionally equivalent to names. Species like the African gray parrot don't just mimic, they understand context. They can associate words with objects, answer simple questions, use language appropriately. This pushes them into a level of cognition closer to primates than most birds. Despite having tiny brains, honeybee can learn to recognize human faces using patterns. They don't see like we do, but they process visual configurations in surprisingly advanced ways. Rat emit high-frequency chirps when tickled. We can't hear it naturally, but recordings reveal consistent patterns tied to positive emotion, basically laughter. Owls can rotate their heads up to 270 degrees, but not a full 360 degrees. They compensate for fixed eye sockets, their eyes don't move, by having extra neck vertebrae, 14 versus 7 in humans, specialized blood vessels that prevent circulation during rotation. It's a structural workaround for having incredibly powerful, forward-facing vision. In seahorses, the male gets pregnant. The female deposits eggs into a pouch on the male's body, where he fertilizes them, regulates oxygen and nutrients, eventually gives birth to fully formed baby seahorses. It's one of the rare cases in biology where reproductive roles are almost completely reversed. Clownfish can change sex entirely based on social hierarchy. If the dominant female dies, the top male transforms into a female, including behavior, hormones, and reproductive organs. Identity is not fixed, it's situational biology. Certain snakes can reproduce via parthenogenesis, essentially cloning themselves. No male required. Even more unsettling, offspring can be viable and healthy. This has happened in captivity and in the wild. Inside a cocoon, a caterpillar doesn't just grow wings, it liquefies itself. Its body breaks down into a cellular soup, then reorganizes into a butterfly. It's not transformation. It's controlled self-destruction and rebuild. Some birds navigate using constellations. They don't just follow instinct, they learn star patterns, use the rotation of the night sky to orient themselves. It's celestial navigation in a brain the size of a walnut. Deep-diving whales don't rely only on lungs. They pack their muscles with myoglobin, a protein that stores oxygen. This allows them to dive for over an hour, reach depths of 2,000 plus meters. They're essentially carrying internal oxygen reserves, like built-in scuba tanks. Alpine swifts can stay airborne for months. They achieve this by letting one half of their brain sleep at a time, keeping the other half awake to control flight. It's called unihemispheric sleep, a split-brain survival trick. Wombat produce cube-shaped feces. This isn't a joke. It's caused by varying elasticity in their intestines. The cubes don't roll away, which helps them mark territory more effectively. In shrimp, the heart sits inside the cephalothorax, head region. It sounds wrong, but their body plan merges head and chest into one functional unit. Sloth can hold their breath up to 40 minutes by drastically slowing their heart rate. That's longer than many marine mammals, including dolphins. African elephant detect vibrations through the ground using sensitive cells in their feet. They can hear distant herds miles away via seismic signals. Sea otter hold hands while sleeping to avoid drifting apart. It's both practical and unsettlingly wholesome. Male Adelie penguin offer pebbles to females as part of courtship. If accepted, the pebble becomes part of their nest and the start of a bond. Orcapods have distinct vocal patterns, like regional accents. Different groups can sound so different they're almost like separate languages. A group of crow is called a murder. Given their intelligence and memory, the name feels less metaphorical. Cats are missing a functional TAS1R2 gene, which is essential for detecting sweetness. That means sugar literally has no taste to them. They evolved as obligate carnivores, so there was no evolutionary need to detect carbs. Their taste system is tuned almost entirely toward proteins and amino acids. So when a cat ignores cake or candy, it's not discipline, it's biology. Koalas have friction ridge patterns so similar to humans that even under a microscope, they can be hard to distinguish. This is a case of convergent evolution. They developed similar solutions for gripping surfaces, trees versus tools. In theory, a koala could contaminate a human crime scene with misleading prints. Giraffes sleep as little as 5 to 30 minutes per day, often in bursts lasting just a few minutes. Why so little? Their size makes lying down risky, slow to stand up if attacked. They evolved to stay alert in predator-heavy environments. They can even nap standing up, like a biological power-saving mode. Horses physically cannot vomit due to a one-way valve, cardiac sphincter, that's extremely strong, a stomach positioned in a way that prevents reverse flow. This design is efficient for grazing, but dangerous. If a horse eats something toxic or too much food, pressure builds up internally, which can lead to fatal conditions like colic. Some ants don't just build with materials, they build with their own bodies. They can form bridges, rafts to survive floods, living doors to block nest entrances. Each ant acts like a cell in a larger organism, following simple rules, but together creating complex engineering solutions. Contrary to popular belief, chameleons don't primarily change color to blend in. Instead, they use it to signal mood, stress, aggression, calm, temperature regulation, social status, or mating readiness. The color shift comes from nanocrystals in their skin that reflect light differently, not just pigments. Sharks appeared around 400 million years ago. The first trees didn't show up until about 350 million years ago. That means sharks were already swimming in Earth's oceans 50 million years before forests even existed. They've survived multiple mass extinctions with relatively little change, making them one of evolution's most durable designs. Butterflies have chemoreceptors on their feet. When they land on a plant, they're instantly tasting it to decide, is this suitable for laying eggs? Will my larvae be able to eat this? They're essentially sampling the environment just by standing on it.